Flynn.
I'm so excited.
All right, I believe that we are now live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry it took so long. I hope the audio's not screwed up because the audio was screwed up last time. This is, in case you haven't noticed, this is the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. And we used to have jokes about the 5th member coming and screwing us over. And then the 5th member was like, haha, you think you're so funny. Here I am, boot to the face. I had a long day, and then I was like, okay, it's okay, I'm gonna start streaming. And my computer was like, no, you're not. Who are you trying to kid? You're not streaming. So I think we're all here now. I think the audio is working. Marco, want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Hydra, you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello, welcome. And Flynhammer, you want to say hello?
Hello there.
Excellent. So now the chat has our different hellos, and they can tell us if they're overlapping or they're not hearing Flynhammer or some other audio nonsense is going on like happened last time. All right, maybe we made it. So how are y'all doing?
It ain't easy being us, huh?
It ain't easy being a nid. Hydra, how was your week?
Well, recovering. Basically, I was busy recovering.
Yep.
And yeah, but in that matter of fact, it has been pretty good. I've had
good. You've been able to recover?
Yeah. The kids have been well enough to go to daycare.
Fantastic.
That was very fantastic. Yeah.
That helps with the recovery, certainly. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, man. I was worried about you.
Yeah, that was a very rough ride, but I hope that it's now over.
I hope so as well.
Claws crossed.
Flynhammer, how's your week been?
Long. Internet connections all week long. That's always fun.
Internet connections? What do you mean?
Because I work from home some days during the week. If the internet goes down, I can't do my job.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it's more of like, oh, can you come into the office for it? I'm like, oh, I'll give about 10 more minutes with the internet. Ah, the internet's back. And it's gone. And it's back. Today was just the worst.
Oh, damn. Right. And Simon, Moloch, how has your week been?
That's me. Thank you. Rather busy. My day job has been very, 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 very hectic because Berlin is having huge trouble with the ongoing housing crisis, with many Ukrainian refugees coming to the city, and the city was already very crowded before, and things haven't gotten better. And the Senate decided to spend some EU money on the shortest notice possible, and we won the competition to do the job they asked for. And
congratulations!
Thank you. It's a good thing, but it was a lot of work to get going on this kind of stuff because, of course, it's always very late, and the money is there, so you have to spend it as fast as possible, employ as many people as possible. So yeah, I need dedication, but I'm happy we get stuff. We can do some good stuff with the EU money.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. And I put Hydra's video up because Hydra's the only one who's doing anything remotely Tyranid. Hydra, what the heck is going on, buddy? What's this?
This is my Tyranid zoanthrope cradle that I never finished. And when I was cleaning up the basement, I found a box with all kinds of weird shit in it, and this was part of it. And I am trying to, get back into, or at least a little bit. Don't get your hopes up too much, but
my hopes are already up.
I try to get a little bit back into Tyranid and shapes and dynamics and all that shit.
Yeah.
So regarded as a practice piece.
I love it.
He's training.
Yeah, I'm training. That's what.
So, just for anyone who's not familiar, that so the zoanthrope type thing that Hydra's working on, that resin cradle seat throne part was sculpted by him.
Yeah.
and then cast by an old buddy of ours. Well, a buddy of ours, maybe not a buddy of Marco's because he still owes Marco models apparently.
No,
Trollforged.
not anymore.
Not anymore. Good. Okay. Yeah, Trollforge, otherwise known as Ed Forte. He let's put it up there. He cast some like random Tyranid conversion bits, and I think that wasn't it a collaboration between you and who did the rest of it? Was it Box or was it Hermes?
It started out as me. You know, we had those concept sketches, and we have like I'm prepared. We, you know,
Oh shit! Okay.
we had like
I'm
this is the concept sketch. We had like putting a zoanthrope on top of it, and Ed was worried that GW would sue us, so or him better. And so he said, "Can you sculpt something little to put it on top, which obviously doesn't belong there,
Oh, so you sculpted that?
so we can tell, you know, it's not what it looks like." And so I sculpted this thing, and we put it sideways, and I painted it, and you know, to pretend that it's not a throne.
That is a
And-
cool story.
Nice. I have a couple of those. I haven't used them yet. I should.
So for a while, Ed sold them this way, and at some
No, I didn't. When I bought them from Ed, he didn't even give me the little worm thing. He just gave me the throne. I think the
Yeah.
worm thing was just for
Yeah.
legal purposes.
yes,
I got 5 of the cards actually.
Nice.
and he at
That
some
can-
point, I think he at some point Box made a little rider for that because
Yes.
Ed wasn't as
Yes.
worried as he was in the beginning, and I think that
Yeah.
was the point where you could either buy just the cradle or the cradle with Box's rider.
Mm-hmm. And now you
I
can,
think that's what I did.
and now you can only just get the riders.
Really?
You can't even get the riders, can you?
Yeah, I got a couple of them a couple of years back.
From who?
It's not Trollforged anymore. It's somewhere else. Give me 5
Really?
and I'll find them.
Well,
Weird.
I don't remember the company who bought Trollforge, but the whole
Ah.
rest of the molds and the Kickstarter obligations were bought by Impact. Yep, it's Impact Miniatures.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
So
they were
apparently Vermis's Box's Zoanthrope is still kicking around at Impact Miniatures.
exactly.
What?
Wow. Okay.
No, I think it's Metal Oak Castings actually.
Oh my god. Okay. This is let's follow up on this later. I feel like we could be here all day.
It's Impact.
So what we're gonna do is that because Simon wasn't able to join us last week, we're gonna 2 weeks ago when we did this thing. We have a new
Lazy bastard.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, listen. No, he was being responsible. He was earning brownie points. I taught him that word. He was earning some brownie points with his family, being a smart man, taking care of the kiddos. But that's fine. We don't mind. We're happy to have you this week. And that means that this week you're going to get a chance to go over the stuff that we went over last time, which is reviewing the Tyranid rumors that came out about 3 weeks ago. But don't worry, if you've already watched that one and you don't care what Simon thinks, you can leave right now because I care what Simon thinks. But just in case you want to know the good stuff, the new stuff, as it says on the little title card that I made for this stream, we are going to talk about this new rumor for Tyranids, this Pheragaunts rumor. Really weird. We will talk about that, but first we're going to go over the old rumors with Simon and get his opinion on stuff. So are you ready, Simon?
Yes.
Nick, we've missed the most important part of the stream.
Oh, fuck. Simon, because you missed us last time.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to swear. I don't think YouTube likes that. Whoops. Oh, fiddlesticks. Simon, since you missed us last time, can you let us know wait, before I say this, when Diana was waiting patiently in the comments along with Tom Wilson, Daka Flack Flame, Felis, Dan Kaplinger, Will K, I think Zone Shaman was in there, but maybe he just joined, Bargaste, Vermis, who else was in there? Diana made the comment that while you guys are dicking around with the audio, I hope you figure out where we're streaming from this week. I hope you're using that time productively. Tom Wilson is there, and Felis is there too. Hello, everyone. So, Simon, I know that you were using your time productively while I was trying to slay the fifth member goblins. So, what part of Rick Priestley's expansive mansion are we coming to everyone from this week?
You will laugh, but actually, I have thought about something in advance. Like I prepared.
You're a
Good ripper
genius.
that I am.
I love
Okay,
you.
so we are coming from Rick Priestley's doorbell. So
Doorbell?
the doorbell. We've talked about Rick
Interesting.
Priestley's vast mansion over the time, over and over again, and but we've never considered the outside. So when you think about it, you approach this massive British noble-looking building,
Yes.
lacking the right architectural pronouns to describe it perfectly, but a little Victorian.
Mansion?
Yeah, the mansion.
Yeah.
And when you ring the doorbell, like you have this, the sound that wakes up the emperor himself, like this massive bronze gong going on and echoing off into the distance of the incredible large mansion that he has, and all
I
the
love it.
friends around. Yeah.
Well,
I love it.
Coming straight from this very point where the shit hits the fan from the doorbell.
Well,
Amazing.
I have to say, as the only guy to have actually been there, it wasn't quite like that.
Quiet you. Stop ruining our fun. We have to listen to you talk about how often you were in Rick Priestley's basement. You have to listen to us wax poetic about how fancy his house is.
Once.
Simon, are you coming from, do you have a different mic this week? It sounds weird.
I have a new mic, but yeah,
it doesn't sound as good as the old mic.
Oh shit.
Oh shit is right. I don't know. It could be if you're in Discord, you might have to change your Discord settings because it might have defaulted to a bullshit mic.
No,
It does that from time to time.
maybe this is better because I have now a supposedly more fancy mic, and
it sounds better.
the sound is better.
Oh well.
Yep.
Good.
A little bit, yeah. All right, we'll see. All right, Simon. Now that we got that out of the way, thank you, Flynn. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you need the explanation of the Tyranid scorecard, or do you remember from last time? Do you know the Tyranid scorecard at all?
Yeah, extremely Shrike, extremely Red Terror, extremely Plastic Lictor. Yes.
Yes, there you go. And with the Tyranid scorecard, the Tyranid Shrike is under extremely unlikely if you think a rumor is not very likely to happen. The Red Terror is extremely maybe if you think it might happen. And the Plastic Lictor is extremely like you think it's definitely going to happen.
Okay.
So the first rumor I'm going to hit you with, rapid fire style, is the Cerebrofex. So this is a rumor of a Carnifex dual kit with something that looks like a Zoanthrope Carnifex, like a Carnifex with a Zoanthrope head. And then the other part of the dual kit builds something like an old One Eye. What do you think of this rumor, and do you think it's likely?
I would say extremely maybe. I start easy here because on the one side, I don't think they will ever change their Carnifex set because they have milked it to the moon and back. On the other side, they're always good for a surprise. I wouldn't assume that they would make another brain bug, but I can definitely picture having them like giving the frame an update. Maybe just just a maybe.
All right, we got you down for extremely maybe. Thanks. All right, next up, we want to ask you about the Norn Emissary or Malceptrix. Norn Emissary or Malceptrix. What do you think about this rumor? This is not very much about it. It could have been that this was part of the rumor where they said that there might be a Zoanthrope HQ in the new I can't type and chew gum at the same time. There might be a Zoanthrope HQ in the new 10th edition starter box. They said that this could be like a feminine looking kind of thing or something feminine about it. There was rumors of it being able to evolve creatures with its mind or something like that. A small incarnation of a Norn Queen. What do you think about this?
I would absolutely love it. Because like just the emissary aspect would be like super intriguing to dive into creature design wise. On the other side,
What do you
sorry.
What do you picture it as when you hear Norn Emissary Malceptrix? What do you picture it like? How big? Like resembling some other creature? What role do you think it would play?
The first thing I thought, honestly, was when I heard the Norn Emissary would be from Lord of the Rings, Sauron's mouth.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like something that looks a little bit like it, and you can do with that whatever you want. But
that's a cool idea.
That was my first impression. Because it would be awesome to have something like that, especially since it kind of gives the hint that it could be a like a not a necessarily violent unit type. Like if you're trying to, like, an emissary evokes in my head a little bit the imagery of an ambassador. Maybe my English is not that good, but it is in my head at least pretty close to each other. So it would be a non-queen ambassador, and maybe just like the first thing to land on a planet and tell everyone that they're doomed in their very language, because Tyranids can do that shit. And then
that's creepy.
And then the end is near, and then it explodes into all kinds of creepy grossiness that kills everyone who listened to it.
Oh, nice! I like that. What size would it be?
Like Hive Tyrant size, I guess.
Okay, cool. All right. Good one.
But the downside is that, which kind of makes me I want to put it on extremely maybe, but I would say it's more extremely unlikely, because when you see Malceptrix, that indicates like a sex, and someone suggested, as you said, that it could be something female looking or slenderish.
Yeah,
I would assume that they try to steer away from gender aspect as far as they can on Tyranids, because that's
it wasn't like said that it looks feminine. It was just there was some mention of like feminine, so it might be like it's like the feminine Tyranid to the tyrant. I don't know what the deal is there. They didn't specifically say that it has a feminine form, but
yeah,
that could be it. It wasn't very clear.
I think at some point someone tried to pinpoint the Hive Tyrant as male and the Dominatrix as female or something like that, which is a concept. The two genders doesn't really work for Tyranids, although there's of course a lot of imagery going in there, but that's just to scare us.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. So you ready to move on to the next thing?
Yep.
Okay. What about an Apex Swarmlord? This was we got very little information about this. They just said that there's going to be an Apex Swarmlord kit. I don't know if they even said how big it's going to be, but yeah. What do you think is the likelihood of them creating a new Swarmlord model, an Apex Swarmlord model? And what would you expect of that?
Well, to get my Tyranid straight, the Swarmlord is the Hive Tyrant with 4 bone swords, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Who already is kind of the Apex Tyrant already, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So you want the
Apex.
So you want the apex of the apex. You know what?
Yes.
I consider this, as dumb as it might sound, as extremely likely, because it is as dumb as it sounds. And I would swear someone thinks that this is a good idea. Like, oh yeah, how do we convince the little kids that this is a fucking scary thing? Let's do the thing we already have, give it more thorns and whatnot, and make it just bigger. And this perfectly sounds like one of those decisions. It would be a horrible decision. It would be a wasted opportunity, but it sounds very likely.
I love that. I feel like we got a little bit into that. I think Symbio might have got into that, where he's like, "This idea is so dumb that Games Workshop is definitely going to do it."
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. And like, if I put a gun to your head and I was like, "Hey, you need to design me an Apex Swarmlord," what would you do?
Get rid of the whole stands. I think Marco did quite a great job to well, no, let me phrase it differently. When you have 4 arms on Tyranids, it's already really hard really hard to pose them in a menacing and threatening way without them looking like being all over the place. And I think that really that works very rarely, aside from the pose like we all like to prefer, where all arms are stretched out in all directions. But if you have like swords, those bone swords add another angle to the Tyranid arm physiognomy. Like scything talons are the extensions of the arms, and the joint that moves them is the hand joint. But with a sword, you kind of have more like another angle to it. But all those angles make those swords go upwards, while all the scything talons usually go downwards. And
Interesting, yeah.
and this creates a great conflict in my understanding, because Tyranids are in most of their design language a forward design concept. For example, if you look at those if you look at the pictures we have for extremely unlikely, maybe, and likely, you have when you look at Marco's Shrike, you have everything pointing forward. The Red Terror is, although it is upright, everything is pointing forward. I mean, the paint job supports that, with the white being pointing forward. But if you take your Lictor, for example, everything's pointing kind of forward, like forward from the model words. So and if you give any of those a sword, there would be not forward anymore, it would be upwards. And this kind of creates, in my opinion, a big break in the design language. And I think that's something a lot of people have tried to tackle at some point. But if you would ask me how to solve them, I would say probably Marco recently posted his flying tyrant, and he has glued the scything talons as kind of underarm weapon.
I love that. Yep.
And maybe something like that, like not necessarily stuck to the underarm, but something that's still pointing forward, but still kind of leaving the hands open. Because I love Marco's concept of hands equal intelligence, and I think that
that'd be
makes a lot
great.
of sense. And the Swarmlord would obviously need, to distinguish himself from a regular tyrant, and hands would be a good way to do that. And
oh man, now you got me wanting them to give Tyranid like monstrous creatures hands, and they're never going to do that. Marco's so right. It's so good, but I doubt they're ever going to do it.
Yeah, probably not.
The old rending clause was so good for that.
Yeah, but well, if you look at Dim Karen, for example, she has hands.
and we
oh god, but they're horrible hands. They're big floppy hands.
Yeah, but we love her for that. Karen is the best.
Yeah, Karen, you're the best.
So that would be kind of my you know what I'm thinking about right now is those police weapons. How are those called? Bantons?
Tasers?
No, not tasers. Those bantons. The police use.
Oh, batons? Like nightsticks?
Yeah. Because they are hold kind of under the hand as well. They have
sort of, yeah.
They have this handle, and you would have. They still kind of point forward, and you could use the additional joint or the direction that the a handheld weapon thing allows it to give it a different direction. I don't know, something like that.
Well, that's cool. That's cool observation. And Marco, I pulled up your tyrant here.
Yeah, thanks.
It's yeah, whatever. Yeah, oh man, it's such a cool design with the running claws and the those scythes. Man, yeah, it sucks that we don't have monstrous running claws. It kind of didn't make sense in the rules.
Totally.
When you think about those, when you think about him impaling someone with that and then grabbing the face.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet. That was a good answer. Next, let's go. Anybody got a request that they want to hear Simon talk about? That's a no.
Hey,
Okay, I'm gonna go with another weird. What?
The Gene Stealers.
Okay. Plastic gene sealers. Simon, what do you think is the likelihood of us getting new plastic gene sealers in 10th edition?
I would love to get new Gene Stealers.
Yeah.
But because I don't like their feet.
You don't like their feet?
Yeah.
They're a little awkward.
They are, and they're not really sculpted out. When you look at them from top down, they're flat. They don't have you know single toes. I would love, of course, I can say that for every thing. I would love to have them, but I don't really think they're going to do that.
Oh, so what would you on our scale? Where are you? Tyranid Shrike? Red Terror?
Yeah, Shrike.
Shrike. Wow. Why?
Because I'm, we're not on a wish list here, but I'm trying to think of how the company thinks.
Yeah.
And like I think when you look at the other things, they either make a complete new design line, they completely overhaul everything, they trash everything and start anew.
Yeah.
Or like 80%. I'm thinking about Wood Elf Sylvaneth dudes there.
Yeah, but what about thinking about Eldar Guardians? Right?
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, what would they change? Nothing.
They didn't change anything on that, right?
Yeah. So why would they need to? Because they could have invented something new and cool for Eldar, or they just stuck to what they have done before, like over and over again. And I don't think they would see the necessity to replace the existing gene sealers then.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if we saw them replace the Eldar Guardians and they made such a small change to them that you would say it wasn't almost necessary to make that change. Isn't that support for them doing new gene sealers, even though even if they don't do that much changes to them?
I would say
to update the molds or whatever. I don't know.
Instead of gene stealers, I would love for them to have to make new Gaunts.
Okay, let's go there instead. Okay, so you think new plastic gene sealers are not happening. Let's have you talk about new Gaunts. Tell me about that.
I would love for them to do that, and I almost think that it could be possible. Because they kind of have, like, it's one of the oldest units in there, and it is and it's no, let me phrase it differently. If I could wish for them to work on them, I would say make them smaller, go more into the direction of how they used to be in second edition. They were smaller, they were more crouched. I like that they're kind of those, like, have the sperm imagery going on, like very straightforward and stuff. And I also like they have these straight tails because they're so easy to bend and then give them movement. But if you scale them down, you could, have like more in the box with the same value within the box. and then increase the price.
Now, question is, can anyone think of an example where Games Workshop has redone a model and made it smaller? Don't they always make them bigger?
Yep.
Rippers.
I don't think so necessarily. When you look at, for example, the Chaos Barbarians, like Age of
Yes.
Sigmar Chaos dudes, they have become way. They didn't necessarily redo the same box, but compared to the old ones, the new Chaos Barbarians are way more delicate. They're thinner
Okay.
and more delicate is I think the best word.
That's good news.
Goblins is a great example from Navarro.
Oh, they got smaller?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And they
Okay.
really,
Good.
and I think that's a perfect example when you think about night goblins and how they went smaller and got more this this crawling mass of things, and I think that would fit Tyranids very well. And I haven't seen a Cadian
The new ones?
yeah, I don't know how they
They're
scale.
bigger. I'm pretty sure they're bigger. I think they're taller, but they're not as chunky.
Yeah, they're not as chunky. So I would hope
Right.
for Gons to be smaller and maybe a little bit rounder. Not so pointy forward anymore, because having them rounder would increase the imagery of having like a scuttling mass. Like it's not
Yeah.
like darts flying at you, but more like crabs, like a horde of crabs coming at you. And I think that
Oh, I like that.
there could be a cool image on the battlefield. And I think that's what
Well, one of
it's supposed to be, right?
nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that I feel like, are you talking about Hormagaunts? Are you talking about Termagaunts? What are you talking about? You talking about all gaunts?
I would assume that if they do that, they would split the box. They would make different shooty gaunts, like Termagants with
Yep.
different weapon loads, and then they would split off the Hormagaunts and make them look differently. Like give them more. They could look more spear-like in the straightforward design, always almost mid-flight. And the Termagants would be more those roundish, scuttling,
Cool. I like it. Yeah, and like part of the rumor that came out, it was last year, not this most recent batch, is they talked about a Hypergaunt swarm, which was like a 120 millimeter base with a number of gaunts on it. So that could be more of like the scuttling mass of crabs sort of thing that you're getting at.
No.
Certainly.
Maybe.
Cool. Okay.
And
Next.
Diana, please don't feel sorry for me. I have not been denied new models for so long. Of course, I have not, but I don't know. I feel like I've I don't know. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm pretty good where I am. If I would ever feel the need to say, hey, I need a new design in my Tyranids at a certain point, I would find a way to make them.
For sure.
Sweet. Okay, and so that's good for gaunts. Oh, so do you think they're extremely likely, extremely maybe, extremely unlikely?
Oh, the gaunts? Let's put them maybe.
Maybe? Okay.
Oh, we're getting new stuff. No, put them at likely. Put them at likely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a jester
nice.
now.
Okay, who's got a request for the next thing they want Hydra to tackle?
Tackle.
Taco? Tasty.
I'm going with Gene Hunters.
What?
Okay, this is a really weird one, Simon. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
So it was rumored that there are going to be these things that were described as kind of like heavy duty warriors that got so heavy duty because they only eat Space Marine gene seed.
Oh shit.
Exactly. That's what everyone else thought. Their diet consists purely of Space Marine gene seed. So they're like big, tough, more heavily armored warriors.
Everything has to be
How do you
about,
feel about this?
sorry, but everything has to be about Space Marines.
Damn right.
Um,
How do you feel?
I would say the concept that goes with that is extremely unlikely, because
Yeah.
it would be something completely new for Tyranids, like to eat something and then take the shape of that. That sounds very third edition. I think that was
Yes, you're right. Very third edition.
that was
Yeah.
the concept for the Tyrant Guard.
Yep, you're right.
That's why they suddenly had a 3+ armor save, because they
Yep.
were designed like Space Marines, and I think they in their description they had something like that the hive mind mimicked the molten rib cage from, or the melded rib cage from a Space Marine.
Oh, the black carapace or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Is that what it's
something.
called? Black carapace? Yeah.
Like the chest, the rib cage from
Yeah.
Space
Yep.
Marines doesn't have like holes anymore, and they're one part in the
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But
Blah,
like,
blah, blah.
this sounds the way this is described sounds very much like a crude. Like I eat something and then I become what I eat, and
Yep.
this sounds very unlikely. But having
Yep.
a gene hunter itself doesn't sound unlikely. It sounds like a subspecies for a new oh shit, sorry, for a new
Gene Sealer?
no, Lichter. Give me a sec.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. While Simon's off doing that, I pulled up some pictures of Roberto Cirillo Broodlord concept and a gene hunt. This is actually a gene hunter sketch that was done by Grimdog, I think, on Instagram. And he was saying how these big, beefy looking rending claws are meant to be like a biomorph for eating gene seed or whatever. They've got those toothy maws in the palms, and that's how he envisioned them working. So even if this is a dumb idea, this is a really cool concept, I think, for a big beefy warrior. I don't know if Simon stepped away.
Yeah, I'm.
If he has.
Yeah, I'll be back in I don't know 5 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, while Simon is stepping away, I'm going to do a little
Chat time.
oh yeah, you go through chat. Good man.
All right. So Daka Flacker Flame says, I really want smaller, sleeker gaunts. Although I was putting together the New Orc Boys kit the other day, and it was so horribly mono build. I'm afraid Mr. Pink is right about being worried about new kits. Tom Wilson says the sprue for gaunts is very sparse. I feel like they can fit a lot more on there. And Daka replies, do you think they'll add more things or combine termagants and hormagants into one kit? And then subscribe, I'm not too sure, but the size that size sprue for new models is jam-packed. I feel like if they combine the kits, you'll only be able to build one or the other.
Mhm.
I just don't think they're going to do. Oh, I recognize that wax seal.
Yeah, while Hydra's away, I got my Nora just delivered me a package that she picked up from the post office for me.
Yes, hey, because I
What?
know who it's from, you might want to check to make sure it is safe for stream.
Oh my god, come on. So I ordered some stickers from Mawhammer, otherwise known as High Fleet Hyper, and they arrived. These are so damn cool. So we have the High Fleet Hyper sticker, all metallic, funky colors, just like her nids. Got a couple of those. And then we got these holographic mouth dudes, which I thought were kind of cool. That one's kind of gray, white, I don't know, whitish. Got this cool, I don't know, chihuahua, acid chihuahua. I guess it's more of like a hyena. That's kind of neat. And then we got some more slobbery mouths. This one's pink and white with a purpley blue tongue. Good times. This one is black and white. This one's really neat. This gives me weird Japanese vibes. I don't know why. Like Oni. And then we got pink and blue one, which is automatically my favorite. Yeah.
Surprise.
But these are really nice, especially the big ones. Sorry?
Surprise that it's a favorite.
Yeah, big surprise, eh? All right. Well, Hydra's off. Should we do Pheragaunts? No, I guess we should wait.
I've got. I'm not David said it would be interesting to see an aberrant the size of a warrior, like something that's less chitinous or chitinous and more fleshy.
Ooh, well, that's that. Like I've said it before on the previous stream, but when it comes to gene hunters, that's what I picture. I picture big gene stealers.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Hydra how he felt about that.
So I did find the links for where you can get boxes riders and another brain bug. It is Metal Oak Casting Studios, and the links are in the chat. And because I looked at the website, so anything they were doing for kickstarting on Trollforge miniatures went to Impact Games, and any of like the castings went to Metal Oak Studios. So
Sorry, Flynn, I'll be back.
yeah. So that's a bit more interesting. Of if any of you wants to have a look at get your very own box model, you can go there. I don't know if it gets any kickback though. So Marco, what are you looking forward to?
Model-wise,
Yeah.
it's fairly easy for me to say. I'm totally sure we will be getting a really big centerpiece model this time around. And with my love for Titans and big stuff, I'm really hoping the big centerpiece model is going to be something alien, horrific, and huge.
Speaking of big models and knights, you nearly done yet?
Yes! My deadline is in March, and I'm gonna make it.
Yay!
Good question, Flynn. Good question. Oh, thanks for finding these, by the way. I can guarantee that Box is not getting any money for these because it says original sculpt owned by Trollforge Miniatures.
Yeah.
So Trollforge had the rights. If he was ever giving any kickbacks to Bits of Box for sculpting these two things, that would have been before he sold the rights to them to Metal Oak Casting. So if you still want the miniatures, apparently they're available. They were sculpted by Box. They're very nice.
They are big.
I forgot about the second one, the one that's just on its tail without the like throne and like the funky headdress.
Do they sell the big beefy Carnifex like model he did for them?
No.
He didn't do that for them. He did it for himself, and he made one cast, and I have one.
Damn shame.
He might still have the original. I don't really know.
Or the molds. Or mates.
It was supposed to be cast by Ed, a Trollforged.
I don't know that Ed. I don't know if Ed cast it. You'd have to ask Tom.
I don't think he did.
He did,
but he wanted to. It was agreed to.
He did sell me a cast of it.
Yeah.
Tom sold me a cast of it recently, like in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was gonna paint it. I haven't painted it yet, so I need to get on that because I really like that guy, the big beefy dude.
Oh, I was just going to reference your post this week of when are you going to paint it? Can't wait to see it painted.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, here we'll go into that. Because I was gonna mention that. In case you're clean and free of Instagram nonsense, I posted this on Instagram this week and it kind of blew up a little bit. It's got something like 90 comments. It's got a lot of comments. Wait, let's see. Instagram will tell me. 118 comments. What? I did not expect that. So yeah, I feel a bit bad because Bring the Paint posted this one way saying like, what did he say? Something about you're cool with just painting models without worrying about playing the game or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine, but why even bother painting them? Why not just convert them? Like, that's cool. And I kind of used it as a jumping off point to talk about how because I'm not as crazy about painting, I'm more into it recently, but before I was never I was very kind of like hesitant to paint because I didn't think I was going to do a good job and I wasn't really happy with my Tyranid scheme. Um I was mostly just interested in converting, and it was often the case that I would convert something and I would post it to Instagram or whatever, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, it's really cool. Let me know when it's painted." And I was kind of like, "Ah, why? Why does it have to be painted? Why can't it be cool when it's just converted?" And apparently, there's a lot of people who feel this way because I posted this random bullshit meme with some really rough edits done as a story, and so many people responded in like messages to me that I was like, "Well, I guess I should post this as a real post."
Interesting.
And then I did, and then I got a lot of responses from folks who were feeling the same way.
Well, I am under the impression that well done green stuff sculpting models is getting more likes on Insta than fully painted ones.
Yeah, and this is what I've experienced and I've heard from other people as well that you get a converted miniature unpainted, it's going to get a pile of likes. You paint it, it's going to get like not as many likes.
That's what I experienced.
Yeah, and I've always wondered if it's maybe because when it's converted, people can picture it being any scheme. They can picture it being any fleet, whatever, picture it
Yeah,
as their own
maybe.
fleet. And then once you paint it, it starts to like constrain the options, you know?
I think
Maybe interesting idea.
it's also I think you
But
see how it's been put together.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
like
you have like the build example, like yeah, you could be like, "Oh, I recognize that one bit. I recognize that other bit." And then once you get it painted and primed, it might be harder to recognize.
oh, I see where they're sculpted there. I see how they did that sculpting, or I can figure out that from there. Painting is just like, okay, where's the model? This is different from the normal one, but I can't tell now because the paint's been put onto it.
Yeah.
Even just the base coat or being primed, it drops it even more because it's like if you got your blank canvas still to it, people can't see where the model, what's actually been done to it.
Yep. Um next, yeah, so folks in the chat, let us know how you feel about this whole thing. Do you feel that there's a pressure to paint stuff that until you have something painted, it feels unfinished? Do you feel like you enjoy just like building and converting, sculpting, whatever, and as long as it's finished sculpting slash converting, you're done with it? Or do you feel like you still want to take it to like the paint step? Like I generally want to take my things to a paint step, but I think of that as like a nice to have. That as long as I'm finished the build and the sculpt and I'm happy with it and it's like together, posed, assembled, and it captures the concept that I was going for. I don't need it to be painted to capture that concept, but I do know that like some people consider it
Well,
completed when it's painted.
I got a question for
Marco?
you.
Yeah.
How fulfilling and good is it for you to see something of your sculpting work painted by someone else?
Well, when you would paint stuff that I sculpt for you, I feel relief because I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't need to paint that shit. Amazing. And as you've won golden demons with, well, not golden, but some kind of demons with stuff that I've sculpted, that does feel really nice. It's cool to see. Someone asked that in the comments on this post. They said something like, oh, I'd really love to see your like commissions painted. And I commented that only about like half the stuff that I commission for people ever gets painted that I see. Like the other half just kind of seems to disappear into the ether. But it's very much the case that when I do that, I need to let go of it. That I can't be precious
Yeah.
about how it's going to be painted because like I can't control what the heck? I can't control who buys it and what they're going to do with it and how they're going to paint it or whatever. And I'm just happy that like they commissioned me to do it and that I got the chance to build the model and that they're happy with it.
But
I can't get too
okay.
Go ahead.
But doesn't it frustrate you? Because you spend
Which?
so much heart and time on kit bashing something incredible, which you always do, as we know. I would imagine if I did it like you did, I would be totally frustrated.
If what happened? Frustrated with?
If I never saw it finished.
No. This is what this post is about. The whole purpose of this post, it's already finished. The
Okay.
model's finished.
Okay, I see.
Painting's extra.
I see.
If someone paints it, that's cool. If they don't paint it, I've got finished pictures of it in green.
Okay, I
With
see.
that's literally how, like, for example, I'm gonna pull this geezer up later, but I'll stick him in right now. This dude,
Yeah.
my Tyranid Prime that I made,
Yeah.
I converted this
Awesome.
for a dude on
love it.
Instagram. He still messages me from time to time. I don't know that he has like a hobby Instagram account. I think he messages me from his personal Instagram account.
Okay.
So this has never been painted. He was gonna get what's her name? Katya Gorska or whatever. She's like a Polish or Russian painter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katya. Oh, Kaha. Katarzina Gorska. This lady, apparently he was going to ask her to paint it, but he hasn't had the chance yet. And that's fine. And like one day it's going to get painted.
Okay.
And I actually messaged him recently and said, hey, listen, like if you ever decide that you're not going to use that model, I'm happy to buy it back from you because I really like it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
he's like, oh, no, I'm definitely going to use it. I'm definitely going to get it painted. But I think he was like studying abroad or something, and he's like a younger guy, so he hasn't had the chance yet. But when I look at this picture, this model is finished.
Yeah.
I see. I got interesting news for you because remember last
Yeah.
year that I posted some pictures of your painted Cruci Prime, the Tyranid Prime
Yes.
that you crucified.
Yes.
I started painting him, whatever, 1 year
It?
ago in Poland.
They? Yes. You said you were going to go back to Poland and paint the rest of it.
That's exactly what's being scheduled for in 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks, not 2 weeks ago. So I'm really looking forward
Nice.
to finally finishing it and mounting it on the Titan. It's about damn time.
Fantastic. Wait, are you going to paint, because aren't you finished painting the Prime? You just have to paint the crucifix?
No, I think I would say I've painted 60% of the Prime. 40% is missing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and like I do look forward to that, and I do appreciate it. I think that if anyone paints something that I make for them, I'm happy. But I think it's for my own like mental health. I need to be happy with the finished model because I might never see it painted.
I totally understand.
Tom asks a question of
Flynn?
what happens if they get painted badly?
Not my problem. That person paid me to make them something. They were patient enough to wait for me to make it for them. It could take like months to years. They can do whatever they want with it. Like if they're painting it and they paint it badly, quote unquote badly, I'm just happy that they painted it because they probably did it to the best of their ability. I don't judge. Like, because I could paint something and you could be like, that's painted horribly. I could do way better than that. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. No, I don't lose sleep over that. I can't. Oh, Dak Flack of Flame. Have a good time at work, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Should I bring up the Cruci Prime? I gotta find it. I gotta sort back through all of Marco's thousands of nights if I'm gonna Cruci Prime.
It's very easily found on your profile.
No, but the painted version. I don't think I ever posted the painted version.
Yeah.
Oh, look, 1,000 nights. Jeez, this guy. Isn't he supposed to be some kind of Tyranid? Wasn't he supposed to be some kind of Tyranid genius? What happened to the Tyranids?
Decades
so
ago.
Sad.
Decades ago.
So sad. Here's the Cruci Prime.
I've had a question I thought about to asking you, Marco. Seeing as you have because you have like a normal Warhound Titan, don't you, with the Tyranid motifs on it? You have a Regal Titan with the Tyranid motifs.
Yeah.
When's the War Master coming?
The War Master or the Warlord?
Wait, which is the one that you can actually buy from Forge World right now?
It's the Warlord.
Yeah. When's the Warlord coming?
Well, thanks for asking. Considering that the Reaver has taken about like 15 years or something, and still not finished. I guess the Warlord is coming in 100 years or something. The funny thing
This
is,
is like George R.R. Martin. Every book takes longer.
yeah. The funny thing is,
Exponential growth.
I did ask Simon if he was up to sculpting some armor relief plates for a final time on the biggest one. And to my total surprise, Simon said, yeah. I'm not planning.
Didn't we talk about?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about a new crucifixion or something? I thought we were talking about like some kind of like observation platform with.
Yes, we did. The initial impulse was that I thought the Prime you did is looking awesome, and I love it. But it's too big for the Reaver. I can make it fit, but it would look bigger on the. Would look more fitting on the Warlord because it's the size.
No, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
I gotta sculpt you a crucified Tyranid dominatrix for the Warlord.
Okay, it's a deal. Let's do it.
What?
Yeah.
Are we talking about a Warlord?
Yes, of course.
Oh, there we go. Simon, you came back just in time. You heard your ears burning. Felt your ears burning.
Why are we talking about a Warlord?
Because we just agreed.
Because you're sculpting one.
We just agreed on your next job.
Okay, you thought that before Games Workshop rises the prices of that again? It's a now or never.
Yeah, no. Flynn just asked if it's in the cards, and I just told the story about where you said yes because you were drunk at the date, I guess, or something, on sculpting even more armor plates with the same tails and unending Tyranid relief sculpts. But I said it's probably going to be in 100 years because the Reaver took already 15 years and it's not finished yet.
Okay.
All right, chat. That's the new goal for the yacht fund.
Buy a Warhound for Marco so that Simon can sculpt on it, or a Warlord, whatever, War Master. I don't know.
I need a yacht first.
Right, you gotta so you can drive the War Master around on your yacht.
Of course.
Well,
Simon, everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I agreed to it, and I will stick to my word. If you buy it,
good man,
I'm gonna sculpt shit on it.
Damn shame. Then it's a deal. I have to do it now. And I'm not joking here. Don't know about you, but if you say yes, it's the biggest motivation I could get.
Marco, I said yes before, but as long as I don't have the model in my hands here, I'm not believing it's going to happen. So
he's calling your bluff.
Don't you challenge me.
If you send me that thing, I'm gonna sculpt on it.
Okay. Let's see how fast Forge World can be.
Hey, while you're at it, get a Tyranid Heridan so I can make you another dominatrix.
Let's do it tomorrow, honestly, guys.
Okay, get it. Really? Get me that again. I don't believe it's going to happen, so send me that model. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
What have I done?
Heridan to Nick, Warlord to Simon. Just putting it down. No problem. Awesome.
So you remember tomorrow?
Yes. Cheers to upcoming plans. Woo!
Woohoo!
Honestly, that would really pump my motivation to 11.
Okay, but you need to get motivated to do Tyranids without us doing that stuff for you, because the Tyranids are going to get there a hell of a lot faster than our models are.
I'm totally pumped to do Tyranids this summer because when the night project is finished, there's going to be new Tyranids very soon. So I'm totally looking
one hot Tyranid summer. We went over this.
So my plan is to finish the Reaver with the Cruci Prime in between. The night first.
Smart.
And then I have my plate pretty much cleaned for taking new knit stuff.
Fantastic. So speaking of new knit stuff, Simon, now that you've rejoined us,
yes,
I'm going to take you back to the whole like gene hunter thing. You talked about the part where if they were like big beefy Tyranid warriors ripping off Tyrant Guard fluff, that wouldn't really work for you, it sounded like.
Yeah.
What if gene hunters were an interim step between like a gene stealer and like a patriarch? What if they were like a Tyranid warrior sized gene stealer creature? Would that make more sense for you?
I wouldn't go with, I know since we have nothing, we work with comparisons, and I would like to leave that path because it immediately immediately creates like an imagery when you say a warrior size or whatever. But
It's like derivative or something. It's not a cool new idea.
yeah, but if you say gene hunters, obviously sounds something like gene stealers. That makes
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and gene hunters could be something like elite unit for gene stealers. Like I, yeah,
Yep.
I would need to think on that. But when you think about gene stealers, they're always like this vanguard organism, and there would be probably somewhere a role for like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe two ways. Like gene stealers usually hunt in packs, um,
Yep.
and a gene hunter could be something like a vanguard organism to the vanguard organism. So it would be solitary and therefore larger, and therefore kind of a link, maybe the missing link between Lictor and the Gene Stealer, like something like I always feel like the
Interesting.
Lictor is is related to the warrior, and
Yep.
maybe think of the gene stealer as the warrior, and then the gene hunter would be for the gene stealers what the lictor is for the warriors. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I think so.
So
I think that makes sense.
so when we're going with the gene stealer infestation, like gene stealer infestations work like ants. Basically, they scatter all around, and someone finds something surprisingly tasty and runs back to everyone else and say, "Hey, look what I found!" And there's more of that. And that on a galactic scale, like.
Sorry, but that's so well said.
And maybe while this is works very well, but is like a chaotic organization, like the gene hunters could be something that adds more a directed way, like it takes samples, like basically like a lictor. Yeah, thinking about it, it sounds what I'm describing is basically a lictor.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I like it. I like expanding that vanguard organism area of a hive fleet, because we have no we have like a lictor and like a gene stealer is a vanguard organism, and like is Karen supposed to be a vanguard organism? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Sharon, she's awesome. We love her.
I think when we tried to dig into her lore, it was that she was supposed to be like a super large lictor.
And
Yeah.
and complaining.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why
One-
she hits the
A
manager.
psychic scream. Okay, so how, now that we've talked a lot about this gene hunter idea, Simon, how likely do you think it is that we're going to get a gene hunter model? This is going to be part of the next Tyranid release.
Well, because I said that new gene stealers are unlikely, I would say I would go with unlikely, because if we get new gene stealers, then it would be easy for them to be put into one box, like having an upgrade sprue or something like that, or having a different torso or a different head, and then you had turn a gene stealer into a gene hunter.
Oh, so you picture them being the same size as gene stealers?
No, they're larger, but basically when you think about the warrior box, where you have
Yeah.
where you can make a warrior and an alpha warrior,
Yeah.
like an upgrade kit in that direction.
Okay, cool. And
Like,
where are you? Extremely likely, maybe, unlikely?
I said I don't think we get new gene stealers, so I don't think we get new gene hunters. But if we would get new gene stealers, I would assume we get new gene hunters at the same time.
I'm gonna put you on maybe.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. All right, nice. So because you mentioned it, from there, we're going to go to, you were talking about how we already have a oh god, I already have this thing up. You were talking about how we already have a Tyranid Prime
Yeah,
in the warrior kit.
yeah.
However, one of the other rumors is that one Tyranid Prime is not enough, and that we are going to be getting a separate model called a Tyranid Primus or something like that, which is basically a bigger, beefier Tyranid Prime that has like a sword and like a whip that it might have a claw on it. I think they said a big two devourers or a big devourer or something like that gun as like a Tyranid character leader beast. What do you think about that?
I would say the same as for the what was it, Apex Formlord. We have a
Yeah.
design that is already superior to the one we had before, like superior in terms of it's larger and it has more black. Let's have someone else be more bigger and more black, but basically the same as we have done before. So I would say it's extremely likely, because it would be a single model is more likely than a whole box.
All right. Extremely likely, possibly because it is extremely dumb. Is that what I'm hearing here?
Yeah, but I extremely like
All right.
your take on that.
What's that?
So the picture we're seeing right now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is one of my models that I'm most happy with ever that I've made.
Yeah, it's so cool, because what I love about it is that you solve the forearm problem of the Tyranid so cleverly. That you have the upper set like being more outward than the low ones. A little
Yeah.
bit like a mecha.
Oh yeah, where there's like the well, this is a little bit inspired by Marco because he took when he got a Carnifex before anyone had a Carnifex, he was like, this arm alignment is dumb. And he moved a second set of arms like forward and onto the chest, kind of like the Alien Queen.
Stole that.
So there's a little bit of that there. And there's also I'll be building a Tyranid, and every so often I'm like, what would a Lictor do? Because like if you think about a Lictor, it doesn't have, well, I'd say like the older Lictors, their second set of arms isn't mounted in the shoulders. They're kind of mounted on top of the shoulders, like on either sides of the head.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I think that's a really good place to mount Tyranid arms.
Yep.
And that's okay, let's skip to the next thing, because another thing that is rumored is that we are going to be getting plastic, speaking of gene hunters, plastic Lictor model. So I'll take this and put that up there. It's a little bigger than a Lictor, but this is the Lictor Prime that I made. That was also another one of the weird rumors that we're going to be getting a Lictor Prime or an Alpha Lictor or something like that. So this is what I think that would look like. But this is another model where I took. Go ahead.
Which you pioneered.
Did I? I guess I did.
Yes, you did.
But I wanted to mention this because this is another place where if you look at the side of the model, the upper set of arms are actually mounted on the shoulders, above the shoulders, and the second set of arms down is mounted at the normal Hive Tyrant upper set of arms location, and then I just covered the lower set position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I added another hole above the top hole, and then I covered over the bottom hole. So Simon, what do you think about the rumor that we are going to be getting a plastic Tyranid Lictor?
I would hope so. Therefore, I consider it likely.
Tell me more.
It's it's a design that is finished. They just need to tweak around with it. It would be minimum effort to put it into a box set of 3. And then you can have your upgrade kit dude, bigger head Lictor, as an alpha, and make it distinguishable from the other two. Yeah, so I would say it's.
Do you think we're gonna get 3, or do you think we're just gonna get 1?
I would be hoping for 3. I guess we get 1.
Okay.
Just another
Like the question is,
classic box.
I used to assume that they would come like the Zoanthropes, where you get 3 in a box.
Yeah,
But then once they release the Parasite of Mortrex,
yeah,
that kind of messed with my head a bit. Because that's like a single boxed Tyranid creature in like a blister. Not a blister, I guess it comes in a box, but you know what I mean?
yep, absolutely. I see the parasite as a test shot. I think they thought, let's see how this is received and how this works.
Okay, cool. So extremely likely. Nice.
Yeah,
We need to finish up soon. This is taking longer than I thought it would.
I'm
But
sure.
we will get to Pheragaunts. Don't worry. That's the next thing we're gonna do after this. So before we get to talking about Pheragaunts, which is the really weird thing that was rumored, let's talk about another really weird thing that was rumored in the form of Magistrants. Did you hear about this one, Simon?
What? No.
Okay. Yeah, this is a weird one. So Magistrants are described as a cross between a Venomthrope, so like the floaty guys with the tentacles that make the clouds of gas,
Yeah.
and a Pyrovore.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said. What? So fortunately I went on Instagram and I looked up Pyrovore and I found this, which is someone taking like a barb strangler and shoving it in the face of a Venomthrope. I'm like, look, it's a Magistrant. It's part Venomthrope, part Pyrovore. So that was how they were described. But actually, I don't know if you guys caught it, but last Wednesday, I went over this stuff with Will, who's here, Will K. I don't know if he's still here. He was here. And Kajan. And they had like a much different view of Magistrants. Like they were describing them as not like ignoring this thing where they say it's like a Toxicrene mixed with a Pyrovore. If you just look at the name, like Magister, they were wondering if it was going to be some kind of new like hive node type thing, like some
Yeah.
kind of like gaunt leader beast,
Yeah.
which I found really interesting.
Yeah, I think that sounds way more likely than what you described first.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure if
Cool.
we get how much of those rumors are. It is when you compare the name to the existing names, that looks very stuffed together.
Yep.
For the very reason, because
Yeah.
you have the Gons at the end without the G, so we have Termagons and Homagons, and this so Magistagons it would be. And
Oh, I think I spelled it wrong. I don't know how to spell this because it's so bad. I think there's an R in here. I think it's Magistrants.
doesn't make it better.
No, you're right. It doesn't make it better.
It still is a name that I would, when you look at, Tyranid names, that doesn't seem to blend in.
Well, it's got the like, I think someone identified it as Games Workshop pseudo Latin bullshit.
Well, Games
Thing?
Workshop is pretty good at pseudo Latin, but when you look at Hydra or Dominatrix or kids don't Google that, but Hierophant, those are used names and already existing names, and the Gons have kind of been used, and Homogons is pretty obvious what that is, but
Yeah.
but Magistragon, no way, sorry, extremely
Okay.
unlikely.
Thank you. That's good. I think that, sorry, we've been moving along. So there's a couple of other random bullshit ones, but I think we should just move on to the Pheragaunts
Yes.
because that was the thing that we wanted to talk about today.
Hello, Kajan.
And that was the thing that came up. Hey, Kajan. That was the thing that came up most recently within the last week. Okay. I've been talking a lot. Flynhammer or Marco, do you want to like introduce these and talk about like what they're rumored to be?
Nope, thanks.
Flynn,
Yes.
go for it.
So I'm just going to bring up the bit about them. But Nick, I did post in our
I've got it. It's up.
the sign-ups for Discord bit an image. I
I
think
gave you a thumbs up. It's up.
brilliant.
Oh, I just put it on the screen. It's coming up soon.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just trying to
Where did
find.
I did the summary too, but I don't know where.
In the
Oh,
meantime,
here.
it's Kajan is great. He says, I still think the Magistrons is the creature of the hive mind created after it realizes the inevitability of death and taxes, and they
Yeah.
to fine everyone into submission, like a Tyranid lawyer.
Isn't that a ministerial gaunt? I don't know.
Amazing.
Hey, if
No.
it works.
The rumor is.
I got it up on the. Can you? I don't know if you can read that. It's pretty small.
No, I've got it up. I've loaded up the link. So the guy saw the booklet of what could be the new box set. So the box is a booklet, 2 colors, and some push fit miniatures in it. The miniatures are Tyranid gargoyles, and they are called Pheragaunts in the assembly. They have 2 wings and 4 scything talons. The overall design is different. The ribs are covered with a membrane. Membrane has holes where the flesh and chitin is breaking through. Muscles are sculpted where there is no chitin. They are 20% amphibious, 80% insectoid, and of 100% insectoid. Color scheme is the old Leviathan, to be honest, is a given, but the cream is a lighter bone color. Second sprue is Intervenator. Okay, that's Primaris Space Marine stuff. Skipping over that. Blah, blah. There are 2 missions unit profiles, some background, some assembly guide, and basing guide. There are additional unit placements in the mission, but no pictures. So you get Captain Luke something, Indomitus Elite Veleni, Tyranid Shrikes, yes, Termagant's Brood with flesh borers, Termagant Brood with spike rifles, and a scout squad in the basing guide. You can see a Termagant. It has the same less bony, more fleshy design as the Pheragaunts. The head is longer, it has larger plates, and it uses middle arms to run. The front arms are still connected to the flesh borer. There is no magazine, but 2 hoses go into its throat.
See new gaunts.
So yeah, that's all it is with the fluff back. The guy does go into being a whole. Well, I've got no pictures. Blah 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 blah.
Let's not talk about that. That's not important.
That's nothing.
Yeah. So thanks for summarizing that, Flynn. So basically, this sounds like it's a winged, close combat Tyranid. It's supposed to be coming out in some kind of weird box set, which reminds me of the box sets they did for the Necrons versus Space Marines when they launched 9th edition. Although those were like repackaging of stuff that was already in the starter set. So this would be a slight departure from that because it's not stuff that's in the starter set. Yeah, so I just I kind of pulled out like just the Tyranid bits of it. How are we feeling about this? Marco, having heard all that. Okay, yeah, you can talk about that later. Marco, having heard all that, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm totally expecting new gaunts in a way, and maybe these will be the new gaunts, but
They're winged, right? These are winged.
Yes, I know. Are they needed? I mean, sounds like Hormagaunts, just not leaping but flying. Design-wise, of course, they're a possibility and they would be cool, but well, I don't think it's fitting any gap in the Tyranid range that is there, or that should be done. What I could imagine would be something like a dual kit with these and gargoyles, but the gargoyles are pretty new, so that doesn't make much sense either. So no, I'm very skeptical.
Agreed. So Shrike, Red Terror, or Plastic Lictor on these?
Yeah, for me it's a Shrike.
Okay, extremely unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry, breaking things. So extremely unlikely. Okay, cool. Flynn, you're dying. What do you want to say?
It's the whole bit of me going like, yes, it's Shrike, but for me, I don't think they'd combine them with the gargoyles because of how they've described them and everything. I just actually think those are Shrikes. They're not. They're just Shrikes recalled Pheragaunts. They're not Shrikes, or you have Shrikes, maybe one variant of them, and then you have those as the Pheragaunts because they sound like the person's seen the models doesn't really know what they are because they've got an insectoid. Nids aren't really an amphibious. It's more of a Nids are more reptile than amphibious and insectoid.
Well,
It doesn't really,
insectoid. I would say nids are reptile and
but
insectoid.
but
Yeah.
with the wings, like when you say something's insectoid, for the wings you'd think of more of a bug wing, but they're talking about membrane. So that's why I'm thinking they've not. It's not 100% there what they're interpreting Nids themselves, or they're thinking
Mhm.
bugs like Starship Troopers or bugs. But that could be how they interpret it themselves. That's different. But I just think with the whole four scything talons and wings, it just sounds more of a. This is definitely a close combat unit rather than the gargoyles. And going off what Marco just said, it's like, well, you don't really need new kits there in regards to the gargoyles. So why not combine them as shrikes? Or they are just shrikes, just renamed. And I can actually understand them renaming the shrikes, but then I can also understand them renaming the gargoyles. So there's a lot of stuff in there that lays the groundwork for it could be it's a lot of stuff in there that makes it plausible, but it's to me it's just if they were on their own it's definitely a shrike on extremely unlikely as it's the way it's come out, but it's the fact that they've got in the termagants as well. But I just
Termagants. Wait, what?
it's just about termagants with the spike rifles and
Oh
the
yeah, you mentioned
flamethrowers.
termagants. Yeah.
But so this whole rumor in
Well,
a
let
whole.
focus on the Pheragaunts though. Focus on the Pheragaunts.
Oh, it's a shrike. I
Right?
mean, it's
Okay.
like extremely unlikely shrike. Extremely unlikely shrike.
Okay. But even like you did make a point that they mentioned shrikes in this rumor. They say
Yeah,
that like shrikes are somehow listed in this booklet or something. And
yeah,
then when you said that like this could be a dual kit with shrikes or something like that, that actually makes sense to me that this could be the combat version of a winged warrior. And then there's also a shooty version, which is a shrike or something. I don't know.
yeah. It's just to me at the moment
Um,
the way that he's a shrike.
okay, cool. Thanks. Hydra, how do you feel? Oh, and chat, tell us how you feel about Pheragaunts. We did this last time. We want you to hear how the chat feels as well. So comment in. Do you think that Pheragaunts are a Shrike? Extremely unlikely. Red Terror, extremely maybe, or Lictor, extremely likely, or Plastic Lictor. So let us know in the chat. Simon, how do you feel about this Pheragaunts rumor? Do you think it's likely, unlikely? What are you saying?
Looking at the way the thing is described, like the text almost makes it sound like someone has seen a box of something, and that makes it sound very likely.
Yep.
I just took the minute to look up Thera, if there's
What does it
anything.
mean?
What?
What does it mean? I don't know.
It has no real meaning. Well, there's a part of a Hindu marriage where a so-called pharaoh takes part.
What is a pharaoh? What is that? Are they like a like a
They
priest?
no, they circle like the couple circles around the fire and places vows, and those circles are called the pharaohs. If I take it correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh,
So this is
okay.
very unspectacular compared to, I don't know, something else. So word-wise, this doesn't sound very likely. The way it is described makes it sound more likely. And I would
Yeah.
assume that it would go as the description goes, like having an a close combat version to the gargoyles.
Yeah.
And
So
I
go
have
ahead.
to admit from the description how the feeder belt of the flesh borrowers goes into the mouth and no magazine. That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, to be clear, this is a bit of a mixed up rumor where they talk about the Pheragaunts, but then they also talk about how they saw like some like new Gaunt models, and they describe how that was. So Flynn touched on that. But yeah, that would be awesome. So where are you on the graph? Sorry, like likely, unlikely, extremely likely?
I
Where
would
do you want to
go
be?
with maybe.
Maybe. Okay. You're gonna go with maybe. Cool, thanks. I would say that like I did last time, I come in here thinking one thing and then you guys talk me somewhere else. So when I heard this, I'm like, this is crazy. This is nuts. Like this is all over the place. This is gonna be I'm going to be a Shrike. But then I was like, well, as Marco and Flynn said, the fact that they go into such detail describing what these things look like, that's a lot of work for a fake rumor. That's like some next level stuff. Like if I'm going to tell you that there's going to be new Tyranids, I'm just going to do that same thing that they did for like the Gene Hunters. Big bad Tyranid warriors where they're big and beefy because they ate Space Marines. I'm not going to say, well, you see the armor plates on the forearm interlock with the other armor plates on the other forearm. It's like that's a lot of detail to go into. So I've gone from like Shrike through to maybe, and I'm now on the cusp of extremely maybe and extremely likely.
Interesting.
Also, because Flynn made me realize, I didn't realize this before, that it kind of tells us about Shrikes in this rumor and Pheragaunts, and the fact that those could be like a dual kit, that's got me on the fence here between maybe and likely. Yeah, so chat, what do you think? Go ahead, Marco.
Good points. Very good points, actually.
All right. So with Tom Wilson saying a layer below Shrikes. Call me Mark. All right, Mark. Not happening. Kajan says ferret is a traditional Indian dress, at least as far as he knows. Brandon Stang says Hypergaunts more likely, I think. Shrike for this one. I'm not David's was like I thought it was Pharaoh as in pheromones. Boyd Murdoch says the Pheragaunts might be duelled with Hormagaunts. And Pheragaunt sounds like
That's interesting.
ripping off pheromones. Or it was Pteragaunts.
That would be cool. Like a suicide flyer unit that goes into close combat, dies, and draws via pheromones the rest of the swarm.
Oh, right now I'm thinking of a Goblin Doom Diver.
No, wait. Boyd Murdoch just figured this out for us. Someone misread something or mistyped something. They're Pteragons.
Yeah, the P silent.
Like a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why didn't I think of that before? I was looking at these things being like, Farah. Like, I think someone just saw PT and they mistyped it as Farah when it should be Terra.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Damn.
I really hope new termagants come with spike rifles and strangle webs.
Heck yeah, I'm right there with you. Oh, one thing, I don't know if you really emphasized this, that the person who was talking about this said that this box was called Strangle Web, which pissed me off because I'm like, if you're making up this rumor and you're playing with my heart with strangle webs, I'm gonna take a strangle web to you, because don't just throw that around, because those were awesome.
Oh,
and
it's sad they went away.
That makes no sense.
But they also go like Arcs of Omen 5, and I'll go into what that is a second, is not based around the lion. So the current theories that are flowing around is
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Arcs of like you've got Arcs of Omen 1, which was Abaddon, 2, which is Angron, 3
And don't go too deep. Don't go too deep in this. Come on, we gotta wrap it up.
4, I think it's meant to be Farsight, and 5, everyone's saying is the lion. And there's loads of rumors saying it's the lion, so that's why it's a lot of people going, take this with a massive bag of salt rather than a pinch of salt.
Yeah, this guy says that, so the rumors that have been going around in Space Marine land, I'm sorry, I know these things because I now watch Valrak so that I can keep track of Tyranid rumors when they crop up. Meaning I watch all the bullshit Space Marine crap. You're welcome. according to Valrak, the big reveal in the fifth Arcs of Omen book is that Primarch's going to come back. It's going to be the what's his face from the Dark Angels. They call him the Lion.
Lion.
Apparently, there's things pointing to this. But this guy who saw this, or whoever this is, who saw this Strangleweb box, claims that Valrak is wrong. Claims it's not going to be a Lion. Claims it's going to be the Sanguinor. Isn't that what he says? Like the Blood Angel dude. Yeah, and I wonder if that might be confusion, because the other thing that Valrak keeps saying is that there's going to be a new Dante model, which is the Blood Angel jump pack dude, captain guy.
Yeah.
What if they put wings on a Dante? What if this like Sanguinor has wings and someone thought it was a Dante? What if they're all talking about the same thing? They just don't realize it.
Captain Master, not a captain.
Can I put my Flynfoil hat there? Can I have my Flynfoil hat for a second?
Yeah, you got to be quick though.
Yeah. I honestly think this, because of the whole, they have these old thing with the rumors that go around, like they sometimes will put out fake rumors so they can find leaks within the company. I think this could potentially be one of those fake leaks.
But okay, they're gonna show him a picture of a box.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because you've seen Potato Cam.
I don't know. I don't know. This is a lot of detail for a fake leak.
Yeah, too much tinfoil.
It's a bit itchy. It's getting hot.
Anyway, what's going on in the chat?
Well, Burgess goes pack of lies. I think Pheragaunts would be bad. I mean, winged gaunt, I think it's what it translates to. I'm not David. I've been hearing this recent one's Lorgar. Brandon Stang said strangle webs are my kink.
Nice.
And I'm not there. It'd be easy enough to mistake New Scale, Sanguinor, and Primaris Dante. Just two big golden bastards on the table. To be honest,
Agreed.
I don't
Agreed.
think they will have Dante being Primarist.
Oh Jesus! Please don't.
Okay, let's not go down this hole. We're not going to talk about this. I don't want to talk about Space Marines. I'm sorry.
Down that rabbit hole.
So anyway, there we have it with the Pheragaunts or the Pteragaunts. I think chat landed on Shrike. I think,
yeah,
along with Marco and Flynn, Simon's in extremely Marabou territory, and I'm halfway between extremely maybe and extremely likely for these, just because of the level of detail in this description. Anyway,
wait. So Nick,
fun to think about.
You want Strikes?
What? No, I want Pteragaunts. Strikes can go and die in a fire. I want it to be a single kit. I want it to be a single kit called Pheragaunts with scything talons. And then I don't have to buy you Shrikes because they're not called Shrikes. What the heck is an Azkelian? Vargas, I don't know what an Azkelian is. I don't speak Space Marine. What is that? For heresy?
I don't even think that's Space Marine speak.
He said heresy, so it could be Horus heresy. Or as I prefer to call it, the Harris Horsey.
He's the founder of the first company with the Sanguinary Guard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that does it for this. I think that'll do us for this week. I thought there was something else that I wanted to talk about. I can't really remember what it was.
There's another
Anything
stream.
else that you gents want to talk about?
We have a special stream next week, so we'll stream next week, and then we won't be on for 3 weeks for the Creature Conference.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Before we get to that, what I wanted to plug is hold on a sec. Bear with. Oh, get these things out of here. As someone, I think it was Kajan, lovelily mentioned in the chat, I do have a Patreon. There's no tiers. You can just go in and contribute whatever the heck you want. However, the reason I'm mentioning this now is that I have a brand new How to Sculpt video that just came out at 5 o'clock. However, it's only visible for patrons on the Patreon. So if you want to go check that out, it's over on the Patreon right now. It's How to Sculpt Tentacles. And if you want to become a patron, you can pledge the minimum amount and you get access to all this stuff. Like I said, no tiers, like $1. pound. I don't know how it works wherever you are. But not only is there that, there is also, what detail did I put? There we go. So there is also a giveaway that's linked to that video, which is also available to patrons right now, but it'll become open to everyone next Saturday when this video goes live. So if you don't want to sponsor me on Patreon, this video is going to go live next week on Saturday, so a week tomorrow, and you can just watch it for free then. Or if you want to see it now, you can go on over to Patreon and join up, and then you can also see what the giveaway is for this one. And for this giveaway, I've actually got help from our buddy Simon, who's going to be judging this, because this is a skill testing giveaway. You remember this, Simon, that I asked you about this?
I do.
Okay, good. Yep, so you can look forward to that. That'll all be up next Saturday on, not tomorrow, but a week Saturday on my YouTube. But if you want to go and get it right now, you can go get it right now and become a Patreon. So thanks. Yes, that's my plug.
One last
And
thing you need to do.
oh, one last thing you need to do is please like and subscribe. Please hit the bell so that you know when we go live, when videos are posted. I know a lot of you are subscribed because you're commenting, so thank you for subscribing. That's great. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And yes, as Flynn noted, Flynn's birthday is next Friday, so he has requested a special stream next Friday. So you're lucky. You're going to be getting these weird, as James Mahood said, scheduled at dinner time streams 2 weeks in a row, and then we'll be taking the following Friday off. So yeah, tune in for that. What's that?
There will be shenanigans.
Oh, Flynn's planning party games for us, so you can look forward to that.
Ooh, yeah.
Shenanigans next Friday. Hydra and Moloch, can you guys make it next Friday?
Pretty positive right now.
No, I can't. Sorry. Really sorry.
What?
We have
Oh, you're going to Poland.
We have our big company party next Friday, and I have no chance not to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you very carefully scheduled it on a week that we weren't supposed to stream. How kind of you.
Yes, exactly. But I could tune in from time to time from my party, because it's set where my office is, and I have no problem setting up an account and just dropping in every 10 minutes or something.
There will be
okay, cool.
It will involve everybody. So if you can't be here at the time, you might be able to catch it later by watching the stream.
Okay.
Well, we'd love to have you, Marco, if you can tune in. We can do a track of how drunk Marco is as he progresses through his party.
To be clear, there's no whip stream either.
It's an 80s.
What?
So, Casual, I think we should just clarify if there's going to be a whip stream or not on Wednesday.
No, we won't be. Yeah, Kajan, Flynhammer has usurped our stream on Wednesday nights. So there will be no whip stream next Work in Progress Wednesday, next Wednesday. We will be seeing if you guys are available the following Wednesday to do it, because there won't be a creature conference that week. So I'll reach out to you guys on the Discord about that, but good check. And I like James Mahood. Apparently James Mahood lives in Russia, where in Russia, Lictor pins tail on you. That's going to be our game. Pin the tail on the Lictor, or the Russian version. All right. Well, thanks, Flynn. We look forward to your shenanigans next week. And yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you're able, go check out the new How to Sculpt video. If not, you'll see it next week. But come next week, everyone will be able to enter that draw. And I'm really looking forward to your skill testing answers to the question, because that should be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us waffle on about Pheragaunts, Tyranid, some kind of Tyranid rumors. And hopefully we get a lot of Tyranid soon.
Yay!
So have a good night. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.